I felt like doing an essay type of video. Something I've never tried to do before. But what to talk about? Maybe I can explain the timeline of Fire Emblem. 3 houses in Fire Emblem Warriors. 3 hopes? If you think the Zelda timeline is confusing, think again. At least the Zelda timeline is every mainline game listed. We're just talking about 2 games. One of them being a spin-off, no less. So where does the story begin? Well, first off, we get a battle between Gerald's mercenaries and Berling's mercenaries. This is where Shiz and Bod, also known as the Ish and Demar, duel for the first time. Now, here's where the timeline splits, and trust me, this isn't the last time. Shiz crumbles and fails to defend himself against Balin. In 3 hopes, he survives thanks to his partner in destiny, Arvo. But where was Shiz in the events of 3 houses? Well, you died. This battle happened off screen before the player even starts their adventure. Arvo didn't save him, and Shiz just disappeared from history. Regardless of what ends up happening, we now encounter the 3 house leaders, Delgard, Dimitri, and Cloud. And funnily enough, no matter who encounters them, they are attacked by bandits and the exact same ones. What are the chances? Violet/Shiz helps the 3 out to fight the bandits, and they end up winning. This is when Violet/Shiz is taken to Garin Match Monastery. Violet becomes a professor for the Officers Academy in 3 House, while Shiz becomes a student in 3 House. Regardless, both games have the player choose one of the 3 houses, and here's where the timeline splits again. This time, each game has 3 splits because of the 3 routes each game had. Now, we need to talk about the events of each game individually, since now things are different between the 2. Let's start with 3 houses. No matter which house you choose, the first half of the game is pretty much the same. Battle of the Eagle and Leon Flame going missing. Oh, it's all there. It's when the game hits the second half when things change drastically. Speaking of the second half, I must mention that choosing the Black Eagles in 3 House gives you access to 2 different paths for the second half of the game to play through Crimson Flower. You need to have Violets and Delgard support high enough to get a specific support conversation that then allows you to choose a side. Choosing a Delgard will take you through Crimson Flower, while teaming up with me give you Silver Snow. Naturally, not doing this support conversation gives you Silver Snow by default. Only I was able to tell my past self this information. With this in mind, there are now for endings to 3 houses. What about the Cider Shadows done? Cider Shadows is a special case. This talk introduces us to the secret 4th house of the Officers Academy, Mission Walls. Where members of this house can be recruited to the main game of 3 houses, meaning they also have time to be purchased. But since the Black Eagles, Blue Leaves, and Golden Deer are all involved in this stuff, this will be hard to place. I say it goes in the middle of all 3 rounds as an optional side story that occurs during the first half of the vanilla game. It's all the canon is the player. But like player has bought the expansion pass for the game. The 3 houses timeline, but Nintendo shouldn't have referenced a specific cutscene in Violet's reveal trailer. So you, like us, Violet joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is also canon to the Fodlan lore. Normally, in this cutscene, Violet will boost with Sudis and gain more power. In the Smash version, Sudis hands by the Smash invitation. How that's gonna save Fodlan is beyond me. I guess I shouldn't question the Churaka. Is considered to be the goddess of Fodlan. So technical. This is a possible ending in the lore of 3 houses. However, I will not include this in the timeline because that is not a Fire Emblem game. I just thought it would be nice to mention since the reveal trailer references an important cutscene from the original game. And with that logic, Fire Emblem Fates would have for different paths since Current's reveal trailer did the same thing. So we're still gonna leave 3 houses behind and begin discussing the 3 Hopes timeline. Unlike the game it's based on, each route of 3 Hopes is very much different. with each of the three leaders taking care of a personal problem before actually getting the other house and the church involved. At least this game is a little more simple, and it's just the three routes depending on what house you buy. Oh, I see now. Just like three houses, three hopes has a secret route that you can only do under specific conditions. However, unlike three houses, the secret route can be done on all three houses, meaning each route is a split. Yes, there are 6 different ways the events of three hopes can go, with different combinations of house and secret paths. Probably a good thing this game never got dull, regardless of what house you choose. The secret route always plays the same. The only difference is some cutscenes that play. For example, you can only see that a Zelda lost your memories and is hypnotized by those if you are playing the Blue Leads version of the route. So sorry, completionists. We'll take some time to unlock all the cutscenes in this game. Now about this secret route. This only occurs during the game if you have followed recruited, which the requirements and process is different depending on which house you chose. What makes the secret route different from the Signed Shadows Dull from three houses because it's always played at the same part of the game no matter what ways Signed Shadows can be played at any given time. So that's the complete Fodlan timeline. Unless they somehow make a sequel. Fire Emblem games hardly reach the same cast of characters. The only mainline game that's a sequel to a previous installment is Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, the sequel to Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So with that in mind, the events of Fodlan can have one of 10 different endings. Dang! In case you need a reminder on why it's 10 different endings. One for Crimson Flower, one for Silver Snow, one for Azure Moon, one for Verdict White, one for Scarlet Blaze, one for Scarlet Blaze with Boleth Recruiting, one for Azure Gleam, one for Azure Gleam with Boleth Recruiting, one for Golden Wildfire, and one for Golden Wildfire with Boleth Recruiting. And each of the playthroughs with Boleth Recruited and 3 hopes gives you different cutscenes, so good luck to the completionists. I guess I should include an asterisk to that number, because of the Signed Shadows Dolgan 3 houses, and their differences and other similar recruitment differences, but generally, the events and endings are always the same. And if you somehow count Boleth's inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a side story separate from the Fire Emblem games, and technically there would be 11 endings. There is one more thing I should mention. Engage! Causes! This game has Fodlan content in it. I mean, that's the sole reason I even have the game and its expansion pass. Clearly everything relating to Fodlan comes from the Three Houses timeline. I mean, Nelgard even refers to Boleth's professor in the hidden conversation they have if you get the bracelet of the Three House while the ring of the instructor is already in possession. Obviously she would know Boleth's real name since he is an veteran, meaning you can change their name and birthday. However, that means things aren't consistent with other emblems in a game because Corin is also an veteran. She has an interaction with Camilla from the expansion pass, and in that conversation, Camilla refers to Corin as her real name. So why can't the Dokard know Boleth's name? I don't get it. And just before people go into the comments, Fire Emblem Heroes is not canon. Sorry this video is so long. Fodlan is something special to me and I wanted to give it some justice. Especially since it didn't look like Nintendo was wanting to promote Fire Emblem Warriors. 3 hopes anyway. And I did a better job at that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Do you enjoy this Assay style video? Let me know in the comments. Until next time.